Hello everyone, I'm Zahin. Welcome to my podcast again after so long being on pause. And today I'm welcomed by my guest and also my friend Zahin Redzuan. So Zahin, would you mind introduce yourself? Because I'm already, being well known in my own podcast.
Can, sure. My name is Zahin. People go me with the name Zain lah. I am actually will be enrolling in a new role as a digital marketing assistant manager at UNITA International University. So it's a education sector. So actually, I was coming from a tech company.
You were from QuickDesk, right?
Yes, correct. Kudas is like a sales and marketing like automation agency platform. So we help automate sales and marketing processes. So I was the project manager there. And right now I decided to actually wanted to understand more or explore the realm of digital marketing. So that's why I go for digital marketing at UNITA.
Is that like considered like a different pivot from what you're currently doing, or is it like on the same domain still?
It's totally a different domain. I think skill set wise is the same because I was hired for my technical skills actually. It's not that I'm only curating content like a normal digital marketing manager, but I also do set up like marketing automations, building dashboards using perhaps like Tableau or using Power BI. And then mostly is to set up the technical flow of the market, of basically to automate the operations of the digital marketing.
I think you also just described your past job as project manager also, right? But then moved to a new different industry, is it?
Correct.
Oh, by the way, in case you guys don't know, this podcast topic is exactly different from dev side. So this is the PM side of things. Right. Okay. So how do you exactly get the? I wouldn't say how exactly lah. More like what made you interest in the education sector, or is it like not really sector related for this job?
To be honest, like it's more like I'm trying to find the opportunity to showcase my skills regardless of domains. So initially, actually, I tried to apply for business finance analytics at Shopee actually. So that was my dream. That was not to say dream. It was my target as my next job actually. Because I actually took up a short finance course. Learning about profit and loss, account statements, income statements, and all that. So I actually learned that. So I was thinking of changing from sales and marketing domain to finance domain.
You think you can learn that from MBA though? But then you need to pay lah.
I need to pay. That's the thing. But I do believe in the power of internet because there's a lot of free resources.
Yeah.
Like, of course, there's no like legit certification. Like, it's hard to say that I know finance, but I don't have that certificate.
Yeah.
But
people will find it hard to believe if you don't have the certificate. Actually.
Correct. For me, like, okay, fine. I just take a Udemy certificate. So I just learned the very basics. And for me, because I'm from a IT background, both of us know that the best way to actually prove our skills is by portfolio.
Yeah. Sure. Portfolio.
So what I was doing is that, okay, I learned some finance knowledge, understand about the domain, and actually trying to build dashboards regarding to that domain. For example, to track financial performance of a company, and then like try to come up with automation recipes. Like for example, from this trigger that execute what action, this action, based on the finance use cases.
Oh, okay.
So for me, like I'm still in a way sticking in the same technical skills, but I'm trying to explore different domains with it, if that makes sense. I think it's very important to be very versatile. Like try to understand many domains as you can with the time that you have, so that you can actually create solutions with your existing technical skills or incoming ones, because you have that understanding of the domain. I was actually inspired from my intern before. So he was actually
Sorry, can you explain what did you do in your intern? Because I also didn't have the context of your intern.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I mean, when I was doing an internship, I was still a project management.
Okay.
I was hired at first to actually manage supporting my senior project managers.
Okay.
Right? But assisting in terms of researching the tools that we might potentially use to implement our clients' projects. And what else we do is kita other than research, we also implement actually. Because our project managers, they are not really actually technical savvy.
Yeah.
They're not tech savvy. So I was hired at that time because I was coming from a computer science background. So they wanted that technical person, but at the same time has that communication.
Was your boss
skills.
also tech savvy as well, or not so much?
She's very, how to say, business and sales is very good, but she's not really like a technical person.
Okay, so back to the relation to your current job now. So, in comparison with your intern, what were you about to say?
I see. Okay, so like so I was working with this intern, right? So he was actually coming from a physics background.
Okay.
But the cool thing is that the reason why I hired him, so I was interviewing him and also provide him a technical assessment.
Wait, you interview for Quick Desk or is it for?
Sorry, I mean like I'm the interviewer. I was interviewing some people. Is it the word interviewing?
You are interviewing people, is it?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
I was assessing people.
Okay.
So I was assessing this university student. He's actually coming from UM also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he was actually a physics student, but he applied for the role, the project management intern. So I hand him out the technical.
Wait, this is for the UNITA, is it?
No, this one is Quick Desk Story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was handing out a technical assessment to my intern, and he actually like surpassed the test compared to other IT graduates. That's the thing.
That's not surprising actually.
Yeah, I know. I do know some people that they are computer science students, but actually they can't do programming, right?
Yeah.
Because like maybe it's ada lah ayat dia kita macam apa? What's it called? Like typically like when we say like those who wanted to become doctors at Pasum but they won't, so they just go to.
I guess they don't have the passion. I suppose that's my word for it lah.
Maybe they just want to one step foot in UM only lah, and regardless of what course, right? So back to my the intern story, right?
Yeah.
So he did very well. So from there, I was inspired. Like, okay, so that means actually these programming skills there are skills. It's not like a domain. Like it can be a domain if you really like go deep on how to develop better algorithms or better AI models and whatnot. It can be that is a domain lah. But in terms of using the tools, like, which is the programming language, or right now we have the generative AI tools like ChatGPT and all that. It's something that everyone should learn. It's a skill, and what differentiates you and the other person is that I would say the domain is one of them. So for example, this intern just now, he's a physics background, but because he knows how to code, he knows how to automate. So for me, it's like fascinating because if let's say he wants to apply for a physics job, not only he knows physics, but he can actually code things out. He can like actually help his department or wherever he works at right now to like automate the processes in their physics department.
Yeah, actually, it's much more interesting. There's a few people that I know like. They have degree in different fields like chemical engineering, electrical. Some of it even not related to engineering, like academic studies, Islamic studies. But then they pivot towards software engineering jobs. You know, because there's a lot of resources online.
Exactly. Yeah.
And free resources, in fact. So I suppose it's almost certainly the resources are available to everyone who has internet, and frankly, I would say quite easy, I suppose, in comparison maybe to doctors or lawyers or whatnot.
Correct.
I would say if you want to become a dev, it's actually relatively easy.
Correct.
I suppose you need to have the grit for it.
The grit, the discipline.
Yeah, the discipline. Yeah, you need to constantly always learning.
I think like both of us know there's this like famous YouTuber. His name is Ali Abdal.
Who? I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry, man.
It's okay. Like, so in short, like he's I would say a productivity master on YouTube. He was known for giving productivity tips, financial tips. He was actually if I'm not mistaken, a Harvard medical graduate.
I'm sorry if we got that wrong.
We'll add the real university name in the subtitle. I forgot already.
Yeah.
But so basically,
if I remember to put I'm lazy, as you guys know.
But basically, like, he has a doctor, like he's doing medical. It's for his degree. But then I'm not sure if he's still a doctor. I don't think he's a doctor right now. He's more of a YouTuber already.
Okay.
So like in a way he's still using his medical knowledge, right,
Yeah.
to like relate when it comes to like explaining things.
Yeah. You know, there's a lot of also devs who like resign from their fan jobs, manga jobs, and then go into swimming or YouTubing. But then also they build like products on the sideline as well. So they're making like trying to make passive income, becoming indie developers. I think you know one of our friends is trying to sort of do that. Afri. He's
Yes,
been building
Afri.
a lot of products lately and then posting it on Twitter. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
that's the term, indie programmer.
is it though? I don't know, Afri. Please tell me though. I just use the word indie.
I never heard of it.
No, because he's always using the word indie, so I just use also lah.
I see. I
feel like that's the word.
Independent lah, meaning, right?
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
No, because you say indie, I thought it's like
No, like India, no. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, man.
So like going back to the story that I was inspired from my physics intern, right? So then I asked myself, okay, I'm still want to do what I'm doing, which is to design, implement, test automations or any technical solutions for my clients, but in a different domain. So that's why I go for digital marketing. Because I think like what I really like about this domain, it's both creative and tech. I actually like to do graphic design. I like to do graphic design.
Yeah. This is for you guys. I already know that.
And so like back at university times, I always like manage like design teams. Like for example, like there's like one event at our university. It's called FESCOM, right?
Yeah.
So I'm the one that actually lead the whole team, like to design the social media postings.
FESCOM is festival
convocation
ceremony.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest
events at UM.
Yeah, events at UM.
Yeah, so it's very fun. And then like so like when I was like going through the job search, right? Like I was about to lose hope actually when like after I applied for the Shopee role, but I didn't get any response at all.
Yeah.
Maybe because
I remember those days. Yeah, it's tough, man.
It's
Even right now also it's tough still.
Yeah. So it's like crazy lah. Because I mean like it makes sense because I was about to jump to a new field and I was applying for mid-senior role. Pula tu kan. So it doesn't make sense for them because like, okay, who is this kid? Like, yes, he has 2.5 years of experience. But then doesn't have a finance domain. Why should I hire him? I think I can get a better person. Totally understandable. So like I was about on the verge, I was giving up. And then at that point I realized when I was looking back at my FESCOM social media posts and all that, I was like, I still have value in this world. Okay, always tell yourself that you always have value. You just have to find like where's the best place to apply them, right? So when I look back all those my past works, right, because I was actually brushing up my portfolio design actually. That's why I was stumbled upon the design.
I feel like your portfolio design can be like 10 pages long.
It's more than that.
Yeah, it's more.
It's more than that.
Yeah.
Maybe
Not surprised. He does a lot of designing back in the day.
Yeah. So because the reason why I do this portfolio because I was actually trying to build a freelance business.
I thought you already have a freelance gig.
I'm trying to be more official lah.
Oh, okay.
I was like actually like trying to build a website of it. I was trying to list out the potential leads or potential customers.
Yeah. Which platform do you use for freelance? Something like Upwork, is it?
My aim is Upwork. Is the main one, but I think like the Upwork is very competitive.
Yeah.
So I think the approach that is best for me is actually the cold approach, meaning I define my target audience first. So what kind of customers I want to solve their problems. Like for example, if I want to target cafe businesses in Malaysia, so what I do is I list down all the list of cafes in Malaysia, especially those who are just about to start, because for me that's a easier barrier entry. Because like they need help and I have the expertise. So I list them down and then
So that's your target market, basically.
Correct. Yes. I realize that it's very important to go very niche on the domain. What I'm trying to say here is that, for example, if you're selling certain freelance services, instead of like saying yourself, I'm a graphic designer.
I can do anything.
Instead of that, you say yourself, I'm a graphic designer for cafe businesses. And to add more value, I actually understand what is the landscape or social media in the cafe businesses. So if you provide this kind of very niche services, for sure you'll find your customers, because from their end, they will be like, oh shit, there's a guy that can design specifically for cafe businesses, which he has more experience in it. So then I realized, okay, I cannot
when they need something related in that field, or he thinks, oh, I have this guy Zahin, he can do that.
Yeah. Like, I mean, there are some people, they still come to me as not cafe businesses. Like they, for example, our friend Alia sometimes.
Oh, really?
Sometimes she acquires some design services.
Oh.
So like, I'm very thankful to her because like she's one of the people that actually, if it weren't for her, my freelance won't be here today. She's the one that.
I feel like it's also because of her I have freelance also. Yeah. Because of Alia. Or rather, her husband actually.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Like she has great connections.
Huh?
She has great connections. I really like. I'm really thankful for her. And yeah.
Alia, if you're watching this, arigato. Right.
Yeah.
Actually, we sort of pivot from your. You said you were inspired. How did we come to this?
Okay, never mind. So if we go back to like, okay, yeah. So it's the job searching part.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we were.
Yeah. So like, actually, how I come upon.
You were about to give up, is it?
Yeah, correct. So I want to give up. So I stumbled upon the social media designs. So I was like, okay, I'll say like, okay, maybe I should try digital marketing instead of finance at the moment. Because for me, like, I can still learn all this finance stuff, but I think the more priority right now is to get a job because otherwise I cannot live. I need the money to eat. To
Gen Z struggles. Wait, are we Gen Z?
No. I think I mean a bit older lah, but I consider myself the first generation of Gen Z lah, like that. Like nak rasa muda lagi lah. Kan nak rasa tua kan.
I don't want to be labelled as Gen Z, you know. I know you guys didn't vote. See, I'm voting.
Yeah, see, vote. Penting tau kerja apa? Vote for the PRN is important too.
Yeah, but ship has sailed bro. 4 years again, then you can be mine.
But to be honest, I vote also because I want the promotion. The buy one free one food and all that.
So yeah, you stumble upon that job and you think to yourself that you can do it, is it?
Yes, like
that's a great mindset actually.
Yeah, because I think like we have to be versatile. Like there are some people that I met, right? Like they're, how to say, not to say the word is obsessed. It's like, you know, there are some of our friends sometimes, or even those that we know lah, when they say like, oh, I studied doctor, so I have to be a doctor.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, we cannot be like that in today's age.
Yeah. Because
of economy, the job opportunities and all that. So unfortunately, like that's the harsh truth that I have to say. Yeah. But the good side of this is that like if you're talking in IT perspective, is that there are a lot of online resources out there. You can just learn in 6 months, assuming you learn every day, you can already get a job. Like that's his IT perspective. For others, you have like, for example, like Food Panda, you can straight away jump and do.
I feel like it's a bit more advantageous for them. For example, if you're a doctor and then you suddenly pivot towards becoming a dev, but then you still have that base knowledge of becoming a doctor. Yeah. So maybe you can go into the healthcare industry, healthcare services.
Correct.
You know, so I feel like it's a bit more advantageous because you actually, even though maybe you're not really brushed up in terms of your skill level in comparison with the other doctors, they are still practicing, but you still have that base knowledge, you know, and you can apply it at your industry, whatever you work with.
There's actually like a TikTok video that I stumbled upon about like there are doctors that not really into doing the doctor stuff. So there are some alternative jobs. For example, if you're really good at graphic design and you're a doctor, you can actually become the illustrator of the anatomy, the human anatomy.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's actually cool. Yeah, you can write the textbooks and all. Yeah.
So it's like you know about the human body, but you don't want to operate the person because of fear of blood, right? So you have the drawing skills, so you can be an anatomy illustrator lah.
Yeah.
So the same application in my case, where like I like to automate processes, I like to program coding, but I realize at the moment I'm not like a full-fledged, I'm not a very good software engineer like Zahin here.
Both of you to assume I'm good, eh?
I mean you have a good job at a good company, eh? Settle lah.
Wow, very bold of you to show. Okay lah, I'll take that as a compliment.
Okay lah, at least relatively better than me lah.
Okay lah.
Relatively better than me.
I'm just joking.
But because I have that technical mindset, at least I have the understanding like, oh, we need a database. We need, we have to use this JSON. We have to use this programming language. I know that, but in terms of execution, I need more time to do that. But in the meantime, I still need to survive and eat. So I use what I have.
This is survival of the fittest mode.
Yes, correct. So I use what I have, and also like try to pick up new domains that are easy to enter first. And I think digital marketing is one of them. So yeah, I decided to go for this role, and Alhamdulillah, I got the position. They were quite impressed. Like she said, like, oh, we tried to fill up this position in, if I'm not mistaken, like since January, but they unable to fill it up because there's no like a technical person like me. Like,
I feel like in the current job market, they're trying to find like a more experienced person, and then for these fresh graduates, I don't really see the positions for those, except for the graduate programs are. Yeah, I feel like graduate programs are on the rise right now. Like
correct. Yes.
almost all of the companies that I know, especially GLCs, government linked companies, have graduate programs, and man, the benefits sucks though actually.
I mean, what to do lah? Like unless you figure out like what exactly that you want to do after degree, there's no choice. You have to go for graduate program.
I suppose it's for those people who actually don't know what to do yet now.
Correct. For me, at least it's a good opportunity for those who still try to understand what they want to do. But for me, honestly, even for myself, I also don't know what am I doing. Like I can do things. I can do things.
Okay.
But how to say, like, what's my ultimate goal? Like, is it to become a weapon specialist, or is it sorry,
I have a friend who wants to become a weapon specialist. Guess where he's at right now?
US?
Yeah. That's the best place, you know, to go into weapons manufacturing.
Malaysia cannot. Malaysia specialist
cannot.
only.
Yeah.
Malaysia good with food.
Yeah.
Where was I? Yeah, so like where was I? Oh yeah, I even myself, I'm not sure what I want to become. But for me, like I just make use of what I have, the skills that I have, the understanding, the experience that I have, to really like explore more things. And who knows, one day I found the one that I want to do. I think like we cannot be too obsessed of becoming like, oh, I want to be this until I die. Because you will change one for sure. Like even like, for example, if you're in a relationship, the dynamic will also change. Sometimes with your relationship with your parents, as you grow, it will change also because you have a different mindset. Your parents also have a different mindset. Everything will change at some point. So to fixate on one thing, it's actually, I think that's where the stress, a lot of stress comes from. Like, because I think like there are some people that I know that they are very stressed because like they unable to become that thing that they want to be.
Adaptability.
You
need to adapt.
Or like there's another word for it. It's called the growth mindset. The growth mindset. So I just make use what I have and I apply the skills and like, you know, get paid. Because of me and my friend, we were talking about like, you know what, I don't really mind what job I want to do. For me, as long as I'm rich one day, it's more than
I feel like if you want to reach, especially here in Malaysia, it's either you become a businessman or, you know, you go outside, make money outside, and then you come back here lah. I think we still like GBP pound is the highest like conversion. I think it's like 5 point something. But then I think last night, is it, or 2 nights ago, I've seen who was Britain's current prime minister right now. The Indian dude, I forgot already.
I also don't know him.
Okay. Anyway, this one is a bit off topic lah, I suppose. But I think they're trying to increase they're making visa application a bit harder lah. Actually, not really a bit harder, but you need to pay more actually because they're trying to raise funds. You know, so I think they say, from this raise of visa application fees, we can raise up to 1 billion GBP. But you know, people like us who wanted to try to live at London, etc., it's a bit harder to get visa nowadays. You know, I think the exact quote is that if you, not really exact quote lah, but from the takeaway from that video that I see of the Prime Minister making a press conference is that if you are rich and you are educated, I think you need to be in the top 50 university. Then it'll be easy for you to have a visa there. Then you can come to the UK without job visa also.
Oh.
Yeah. I think they're trying to get intellectual people go back into the UK. I feel like maybe I don't know what exactly happening, but people are not exactly happy right now on that side of the world. Then they came to places like Bali. If you go to Bali right now, there's a lot of like white people.
I mean, like, as long as they spend more, then go lah.
Yeah, I mean they already made their money over there, and then they came here. They can spend like a lavish person. Yeah.
But for me, it's personally for me, like working like for outside countries is, how to say, you have to deal with the time zones and all that. It's something that I don't really like.
Oh, I mean that's in context of working remotely, is it?
Yeah, correct.
Time zones. Yeah.
But then, like you said lah, like there are two ways to become like rich in Malaysia, right? Is to either work outside and come here.
Don't take my word for it. I'm not rich. Or maybe I have another way lah. Inherit daddy's money.
Or we marry rich ladies.
Yeah. For us, rich ladies for them, sugar daddies Oh my god, we're giving bad advice
Yeah, like we just
we just shit talking
It's your choice
Yeah, it's your choice to take our word for it or not.
Yeah, like for me, like so one more thing that motivates me actually for this digital marketing position, right, is because like in my previous company, I learned on how to do stakeholder management, project management. So I have these technical skills. Then in this new
I feel like that's stakeholder management. Is it considered as technical skill or like people skill? I feel like it's more people.
It's more people skill actually. It's more people skill.
Anyway,
like communications, right? And then in this digital marketing, it's more like I'm still in a way like doing the same thing, the skill set wise, but the new thing is the domain. And so what I'm trying to do here is that actually, like I even told the interviewer that actually I want to learn as much as I can, because I was hoping that one day if I were to open a business, I have some idea on what to do. So like going back to Zaidan's suggestions on if you want to become rich in Malaysia, is one of them is to open a business, right?
Yeah.
So that's actually my end goal. Like I want to own a business or own multiple businesses.
Be your own boss. Right?
Be your own boss, or be like a private equity share. Is it the word? Private equity shareholder. That means you own a part of a business.
Okay.
So I was watching these business videos. Like actually, like you can in a way be rich by not owning the business 100%. You can actually own someone else's business, or buy a cheap business from like like some people, they don't want to handle their own business anymore, so they decided to sell it, right? So
is it like something like Shark Tank that we always used to watch? I give you percentage of my business for this amount of money.
That one is more like investor pitching lah. Like that one, that language is typically used between investor and the business owner.
But in context of the one who pitches, which is the business owner, is that like sort of your end goal? Like, okay, I'm gonna sell a part of my business, or maybe you buy a part of someone else's business, and then eventually it's going to make money, and then you just live comfortably. Yeah, is it something like that?
Yeah, like that's the goal, because I think like that's like one cool thing that I learned about from these business videos is that actually business is considered an asset. It's an asset. Like there's a lot of types of assets. There's like property, that is like precious metals like gold, and all that. And for me, I rather go for business, because business is something that you can actually control. Like in a way, like compared to property, you cannot control the market price and all that. And same goes with precious metals. Personally, for me, I feel like that lah. And for me, businesses, at least I can change like the selling price and all that.
At least you have the power to make the decision
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why like for me, the assets I really want to own in the near future is actually businesses lah, at the moment. Like I can't wait until I'm 60, then I can taste 1 million. I don't want like that lah. I want like maybe by 30s, I mean inshallah, I can feel 1 million already. So I have 5 years left lah right now. Right? Still pressure.
Yeah, we're 25 by the way.
Yeah, we're 25. In a way, we're still
Quarter
young.
life.
Quarter life crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the age where like shit. When am I going to get married? when I'm going to get this amount of money and all that. And all my dad thinks of is he wants chuchu lah already.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But for me, like that chill first lah. I take my time first. So for me, like I want to own businesses. That's I would say that's my future goal lah. Like not like specific business. I'm not sure what yet, but that's the future goal. So going back to this goal drives my decision to pursue digital marketing. Is that by understanding the domain, at least lah, when I want to own a business, I can understand how they execute their marketing. What is their marketing strategies? At least I can advise on how to do proper marketing.
That's good. But okay, I'm also like a bit of the same. My goal is sort of like basically to own a Porsche.
Who doesn't want to own Porsche? Man?
Huh?
I want to own a 911.
Oh my god, 911 is it needs 7 figures ringgit Malaysia. Oh my god. Okay, anyway, basically I do want to open a business someday. I actually sort of have access to the capital. It's just that I don't know what exactly I want to do. Like what kind of business that I want to venture into. Yeah, that's sort of the thing that I'm actually still searching up till now. Yeah, and like the way you said it feels like you sort of have already know what kind of business do you want to do, or is it like, am I mistaken?
How to say, like for now, like,
or is it like you're trying to just gather the skills in order to open a business, and then when you find the domain, then only you kickstart it?
Like right now, the domains that I'm trying to explore are the domains that make sense of the business. Like what builds up a business? You need marketing.
Business in general, is it?
Correct. Yeah, business in general first. Yeah. So you need marketing, you need finance, you need logistics, you know, operation knowledge and all that. So I'm trying to like so because the previous company I already learned the communications part. Where basically what I went by this is that I'm more confident in communicating with big stakeholders. And this second role is more like understanding the marketing aspect of a business. And maybe my third job or my fourth job is the different aspects of a business. So my aim is actually like, in these 5 years, I'm going to dedicate myself to learn up all these skills, at least the fundamentals. Then by 30 is either I start my own business or like I buy a part of someone else's business.
You know, I just realized something. We're posting this podcast. Like, do you want to cut that off? Because we're basically telling our employer that, we're going to leave you soon. Yeah, I just realized that, you know, like, fuck.
Lucky you said that.
Okay, but to be fair, I did say I want to own a Porsche. So, you know, it's either I have a business or you raise my gaji lah.
Okay, can potong.
Potong. That's okay lah. You not potong? Nah, I don't think they're watching this.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I saw, because I need the job so bad.
But I mean, like, people with your value, I think you can get a job easily lah. Actually, yeah.
I think like
without a doubt lah.
I feel like, how to say, I feel so misread because of my resume lah.
Huh?
I would say, you know, like when you're applying for jobs, they will look at your resume first.
Yeah.
They don't even know who you are. They just know you from a resume. So for me, like, I think maybe what messed up my Shopee application is the resume part, because I think like how it's written is for me, I think my standard is quite poor. Like, although I checked with everyone already, but when I read it, I still feel like I can add more things. By the time, because I was chasing a deadline in applying this role, so I straight sent lah. And maybe it's because of the experience thing also lah. But I just feel like blindly apply for jobs is very challenging unless like you have someone inside that can actually vouch for you.
I think that's the job for cari cable.
Yes. No, I think, like, to be honest, I think when you're applying for jobs, I think if you want a high chance, you have to use a referral. Like, because when someone inside the company, especially that they do very well, so they have this like credibility. And when they vouch to the HR, they say, hey, I have a friend of mine that is good for this role. So immediately HR consider to take an interview already, because the goal that you're sending this resume is to get into the interview. The interview is where you can really shine very well.
Yeah. Would you say that the hardest part of getting a job is actually getting vetted by the HR? Like, your resumes?
Ooh, like
Is it-
like this is only my personal take. I was really hoping that those who reading my resumes are the ones that are actually the managers of the departments, not the HR that's
Oh,
filtering it.
I feel like they also filter the HRs and also eventually they pass to managers.
Yeah, but I feel like because maybe maybe the position that I have towards HR is that they just check the check boxes lah. Like okay, if this dude has JavaScript, check.
I mean, it kind of makes sense for HR to actually vet the resumes because, like, especially big companies, they receive, I confirm receive thousands of applications.
They want no choice lah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you cannot let your managers to. They also have other tasks, right? So it's up to the HR lah to vet. Probably they use some sort of automation system or check.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy very handsome, check.
I mean, I didn't put my picture. The only thing handsome in there is the font. What else? Yeah, I think like I mean that's the main goal lah. Like although if like I'm saying all this right, and then like if they expect me to stay longer and all that, I don't think it's I understand from a business perspective, like the employees are the stuff, the employees are the investment that they are making, and they're hoping to stay. But I think like there are always something inevitable, which is the employee leave the company lah. But of course, I do my best to like provide for the company with a given time frame.
Yeah,
Because in the end, that's the promise that we make to the company.
yeah,
It's not
that's our
to
responsibility.
yes, it's not really to stay at the company for a long time. It's more like you give your best in that time frame, especially if you're in a contract basis. All right, you are promised like, hey, I want you to work. I want you to work as good as you can in this 1 year, and then you work your ass off lah.
Yeah.
And yeah, because like some people they definitely like they have this lifestyle of like, okay, I'm really okay with 9 to 5. Actually, I don't know why people always like, you know, like the current social media nowadays, like they always say like, oh, if you want to be rich people. You know, like some people they always push people like, don't do 9 to 5 lah, open a business. For me, different people have different aspirations, different goals. Some people they just want a very chill life. They don't want like a very hectic life like a businessman.
I think we should respect their decisions.
Exactly. For me, I respect all types of.
Not everyone have the capacity or like the mindset to do business because it's rough, you know.
It's very like you have to deal with.
You need to have a rigid mindset, strong mindset. You know, you need to handle rejections a lot. It's quite tough lah, especially nowadays where a lot of people aspires to do business. You know.
You have to deal with a lot of uncertainty as a business person and all that. But so then for me, like different people have different ways of even like their own version of happiness. Like a lot of money doesn't mean you're happy. Like it is a tool that can make you happy, but it's not like the ultimate tool that makes someone happy. Maybe someone like you know, they just want to have a family, they want to have kids. Just enough money to sustain their family, you know, live at a cabin or whatnot. That's already a happy life. Like you need to be very rich to do that, right? And like there's a lot of people out there that is very rich but also sad.
Yeah.
So
money is in everything, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
but definitely will able to help you to do something. Money.
If you want to go to other countries, you need money lah. Still.
For me, like I did ask this question to my dad. He said like, I asked lah like, why are we in the United States? Because both my parents they went to US for their studies.
Yeah.
And he said, I just miss nasi kandar.
Oh yeah, actually a lot of Malaysians say that though. They actually miss the food. They come back to Malaysia just because they miss the food.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to stay there. The food tastes bland though. Like I went to the UK a few months, I think about a year ago. Oh man, I miss Malaysian food. I miss nasi lemak. I miss satay. Oh.
The banana leaf, nasi kerabu.
Yeah. Oh man.
Malaysia is like, I cannot
like for the first few days I can still tahan lah the food, but then eventually, man, this tastes bland. I went to a Pakistani restaurant. This doesn't taste shit, you know.
It's not even Pakistani.
Yeah.
It's UK Pakistani.
It's UK Pakistani. It's the washed down version. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, because they have to wash it down to the UK level, ma.
Yeah. Previously, before, I didn't have that perspective until I went to UK myself, you know, because I never really understand why people like, oh, I don't want to stay here because of the food. Like I miss Malaysian food. Yeah. Previously, I never really understand that. But then once you go there, you gain the perspective, and I think gaining perspective is actually valuable. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to go into. And I feel like you're also in the same path, like you go into a different not exactly different field, but more different domain business, trying to gain perspective of how things work in a business, right? Yeah. I think that's important. Once you gain the perspective, you understand better, and then you can become a much more better person, and a higher value as well. Yeah. But man, I don't think I want to stay at UK. Like maybe for a year or 2 or 3, but oh man, it's rough.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll change. Just provide the spices at your grocery stores. Then okay lah. Then we can talk.
But then for sure gonna be damn expensive.
But then for US also, for me, under no circumstances that I will raise a family in the US. I can consider UK but not US.
Because it's dangerous.
Yeah, gun violence.
True. I mean, like, I think I will probably just go US. I go to US as a trip lah, because I really like going. I also, how to say, I have this goal of going to Comic-Con, the Star Wars Day events. Actually, both of us, we like Star Wars.
Yeah, we like Star Wars. I even bought a freaking lightsaber.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah. I'm going to bring this to, oh my god, what's the name? It's not D23. D23 is Disney's.
You mean like Star Wars Day lah?
Yeah, Star Wars Day lah. I mean, that's May the 4th, right?
Yeah, correct.
But is there like Star Wars specific convention?
Okay, so it's not in Malaysia. It's actually like, so I was researching like where is the next Star Wars Day. So it's not at the US, it will be done at Japan. Disneyland Japan.
Wait, when?
Next year lah. May.
Wait, you want to go?
I mean, I'm planning. I'm already planning to go Japan already. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, ajak. So like, I never been to Japan.
Yeah, same. Like, so yeah, we should plan, man. Like, definitely, because I really wanted to experience the Star Wars Day. Because like when they actually like play the Return of the Jedi movie in the theaters, I was hoping the same experience next year.
Yeah.
So I can watch the old nostalgia movies in theaters.
They never do that here. Actually, they did, but different movies lah. I think they did Titanic, if I'm not mistaken. They put Titanic back in the
theaters.
cinemas. Yeah,
Malaysia?
Yeah, Malaysia.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And I think a few other movies. I want to say Avatar, but I'm not sure actually. But I don't think they're gonna put Star Wars movies. Yeah. I don't think Star Wars is that strong. Like, I think a few weeks ago we also went to a Star Wars event. Yeah.
Not much lah.
Yeah, there's not much people lah. But then we still enjoy ourselves because we're nerds.
we just really like the pop culture lah.
Yeah.
But anyways, like going back to the main topic.
What was the main topic? I forgot already. I remember talking something about perspective.
Yeah, it's about perspective lah.
Yeah.
So if we go back to that, yes, perspective is very important. Like make as much friends as you can, because different people will always bring new
different
lessons,
values,
new perspectives, new values. Yeah.
Who knows? You might build a business with that friend.
Yeah, build a business or become a hiking friend, or go to a Japan friend. Like all types of, like, always be friendly, always open to new opportunities. Like, I actually like this quote, fake it till you make it.
Oh, wait. Do I like
I mean, there's a cons to it also lah. Like, don't fake it too long.
Yeah, don't fake it too long.
Like, because like
there's a limit to it.
There's a limit to it. You don't fake it all the way lah. You have to make effort for it. What I'm trying to say is that, like, how to say, like, fake it here means that you tell yourself, like, hey, Zahin, you can do A, you can do A, you can do A. Although you aren't able to do A yet, just ask yourself to do that. Eventually you'll do it and you actually produce it. That's so I was like learning about Google Looker Studio. It's basically a platform for you to build BI dashboards. So at first I never had the experience of building the dashboards, but then I keep asking myself, Zahin, you can build the dashboards. So I just go to YouTube, follow through it, and try to make a version of my own. And then, hey, I actually made it.
Yeah.
So you can actually you can do this with all of the skills like programming languages.
Yeah, I suppose that's the same for me also because I'm doing information system, right? So it's more towards data science stream. But then eventually I become a mobile engineer. I'm doing iOS, so which is completely, I would say, a different path that I take. Yeah, when I first started out trying to learn mobile programming or programming in general, I feel like, oh, I don't know anything about it. I feel so down, and I feel like, what was the word? I think it's imposter syndrome lah. Eventually, like, okay, first of all, you're not confident, and then once you're confident, you meet other people who's much more better than you, and then you think to yourself, oh, am I actually good enough to apply for this job? So that's, I suppose, that's imposter syndrome lah. The feeling of you're not good enough yourself. So I suppose the word fake it till make it kind of fits here lah.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Like
it might seem that you fake it, but in reality, people would perceive that differently. You know.
Correct.
Yeah.
You never know. Like that's like one saying, like, how to say, we assume too much what people think of us, and so we think so much about it that we didn't actually work on it. Like we were so, it's like we are manifesting what we think people are thinking about us, but actually it's not. They will.
Is that the concept of anxiety?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
Like they know you can program, they know you can build stuff, but it's you are telling yourself that you cannot, which is like it's not good lah. Like you have to find ways on how you can talk to yourself. For me, it's very important to always communicate with yourself. So what I do is that every time I wake up in the morning, I try to talk to myself like mentally.
Talk to the mirror.
Talk to the mirror, or talk inside your head, or any. You can always. There's a lot of ways of talking to yourself.
This is one of the reasons why I do podcasts also.
Yeah.
To try to flesh out yourself even more. And then when maybe in 5-10 years you look back into this video and you say, oh, that was me a few years ago. Maybe you feel cringe, or I don't know what you're gonna feel. I feel like at the first few videos of my podcast, I'm gonna feel a bit cringy lah. But I feel like it's a good, I would say, I don't want to say documentary, but it's a stepping stone, I suppose, into shaping a better self.
Also, I also like they say, you cannot reach 100 if you start one.
Sorry, what was that again? You cannot what?
Okay, sorry. Like, how can you reach the end if you don't start?
Okay.
So like you say yourself, you want to be, let's say you want to be a very good programmer, but even you don't type out hello world, how are you going to reach that? So you need to start, and of course you will fail. Just
start, even though you're gonna fail, at least you started. It's better than you did nothing about it.
Correct. I remember my first graphic design project. It was back at 2016. It was damn ugly. I actually used PowerPoint, man, instead of AI Illustrator, right? Because I don't have the access to it, so I have to use PowerPoint. So I get creative with it, and people actually like it. So like, then I was like, oh, okay, I can do this shit with PowerPoint, and I continuing on doing design. And then at some point, there is a situation that demands me to use Photoshop, so I use Photoshop. So I learned Photoshop from my friend that good at it. And then years later, when I was actually appointed as the head of the design team at Fescom, I actually don't know AI at that time actually. But then we are lacking of AI. How to say, like, we don't have enough people that can do Illustrator. So I actually pick up the skill myself and try to contribute to the team. So from that, then I realized, like, you don't need to be perfect. Like, how to say, you don't need to be like always ready for a situation. Like there's always be situations. There's always new situations that when they come to your life, they demand you to like learn a new set of skills. And you always have to be prepared for that. So that's why, like, I think the most important thing that you need to make sure that it is, how to say, handled well is your mental capacity lah, to learn things, to adapt.
The growth mindset.
Yeah.
Even right now also I'm doing stuff that I'm sort of out of my zone basically. It's not really I wouldn't say it's not really in my job description, I suppose, not directly stated lah. But I mean, basically I'm building the pipeline for the apps, which is essentially mobile DevOps. So it's a different kind of beast lah that I'm trying to tackle too. Yeah. Also different language. It's bash scripting basically.
Oh damn.
Yeah. It's a bit uncomfortable lah at first for me, but actually I enjoy the whole process of learning it, because at the end of the day I said to myself, oh, this is going to increase my value.
Correct.
Yeah, in the software engineering. Yeah.
they say like if you just keep focusing on polishing your values, like the money will come.
Yeah, money will always
the
come.
people that you,
As long as you have the growth mindset, I think money will always come to you.
yeah. So like it's okay to chase money, but it's more okay if you chase to build. To build your value.
It's
more.
even better lah.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Like it's okay. Like when you're starting a business, maybe you can give free samples or free services for a few times at the beginning of the business. Then once you get that reputation, then you can start charging your services.
No, you said services. I'm thinking of a dark joke now.
Oh my god. That one you don't give for free. No, that one for sure will work one. So you charge.
Suddenly become rated.
Okay, we didn't say it yet, so we just leave it to their imagination.
We didn't say it yet, so it's up to your imagination. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
And then actually, like when starting a business, like for me personally, I think the lowest barrier entry to start a business is to actually do a service-based business. You sell your services, because when you want to sell a product business, when you sell, I'm so sorry.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
He's so creative.
Yeah.
So because when it comes to doing products, you need a lot more resources. Actually, you need to design the product. You need to think of like whether the product is useful or not. So actually, the best way, like when it comes to learning new things, I actually like to learn by doing. So when I want to learn about business, I actually try to do a business instead. So from there, I pick up the skills. So for me, when I'm doing these services such as like graphic design or doing digital marketing or like whatever business that I can do, from there, like you can already see like how you're going to structure your own business. You have to do your business model canvas. You have to approach a list of customers that potentially can be your customers. Yeah, so you learn all this by starting a simple business. So you can learn all of this already.
Yeah.
So like I think the one thing that stops all of us of pursuing our dreams in general is that we always doubt ourselves. We always think that it will fail, and it will actually. You'll always fail, but what decides you continue to fail and you succeed is when you learn from it or not.
Yeah. It's either you dwell on it or you learn from it.
Yeah. I used to like dwell on the failures and I didn't move to anywhere. But then when I started to realize that okay, this is a mistake I did, I learned. Okay, now I learn about this. So when I actually apply it, then today, Alhamdulillah, I would say the freelance is doing good because I'm getting more confident day by day, approaching my connections, approaching to totally different new people in the industry that I want to work with, and all that. And I'm not saying that it's Rome is not built in a day, so it's not like an overnight thing. Definitely,
I like that quote actually. Rome is not built in a day.
Yeah, it's really like, to be honest, at first I hate that quote. Like bro, why can't just things be more fast?
No, that's not the reality of the world.
Yeah, like if you're doing, I would say, is it OF or I just say OF lah. Like if I do OF, that is considered
he's touching it.
You will blur that lah later.
Nah, I'm too lazy to blur it.
So anyways, like there are businesses out there that overnight you can simply like get money already, like but then some of them like will bring like problems to your life now. Like although you stop doing it later on, but people will always like judge you that you did that kind of business before. So you have to be careful when you're doing all this kind of businesses. Always try to think like how can you do a business that will not impact your life as much which like impact you negatively So that basically there's a lot of ways to do business
Wow, you have a lot of balls I have to touch about OF. That one I have no idea how those business. I don't even know how they make money. I know it's a subscription based but aside from that, I don't think you can make millions out of it. But
they also say actually it's a very competitive market. Like there's too much people doing that kind of content that it's also hard to actually get millions of revenue.
This is the reason why I don't really want kids right now. Maybe after I started business then maybe okay Anyways, I think we've reached our time. Thank you guys so much for listening to our podcast and to our thoughts, and leave us a comment if you want to say anything about it. I'll tag this guy also lah. Okay. All right. Thank you guys.
Bye guys.